Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me for an Art Cards Part 2 video. I'm going to call it. Did a video recently where I got into various art cards or hand-drawn cards, featured some concert poster cards, and then some of these great Marker Doodle Monday cards from my best friend and yours, Scott, over at Reindeer Studios that I've been collecting, and wanted to do a follow-up video to that because I've picked up some new art cards, both from Scott and otherwise, and I'm going to show those in this video, culminating in a Nolan Ryan card that is really spectacular, that I'm betting you probably haven't seen elsewhere. I think I've picked up the only copy of it that I've seen to date. But before we get to Scott and the Nolan Ryan cards or anything else, I want to talk about these Pearl Jam cards quickly. I used this pack in the background of the last video that I did on art cards, and it's from 2016, as you can see on the wrapper, a set of cards that Pearl Jam created for the shows that they played in Chicago at Wrigley Field. For better or worse, they've gotten into playing ballparks in recent years on some of their more recent tours, and one thing they do that I absolutely love, they've produced these trading card sets to commemorate some of those ballpark shows. Now this set here in particular, when I showed this pack last time, I got a request in the comments, or a mention in the comments, that it would be cool to see a pack opened and to see what these look like in hand. And I can tell you, they are based on the 1991 Topps baseball design from 25 years prior to these 2016 cards coming out. These 91s were the inspiration. And since I have a few of these unopened packs, I figured we would just get into one today, and I can show you, those of you who are curious out there, what these Pearl Jam cards look like. Great job, first of all, with the wrapper. Love the authentic wax pack here. Just really, really well done. That's not going to stand up. And in each one of these packs, you get 10 cards and then a sticker. So here's the sticker insert for Chicago. These are pretty cool art. In this case, we have lead guitarist Mike McCready rocking his Cheap Trick hat. Does not look an awful lot like Mike McCready, if I'm being honest, but pretty cool sticker nonetheless. Just a blank back. I don't know if you can tell where the perforation is on these towards the edge, but essentially just a sticker. And then here are the cards, and you can see the similarities that I mentioned between the 1991 Topps baseball design and these Pearl Jam cards from 2016. So we start off with Boom Gasper, the keyboardist slash organist for the band, only added to the band about 20 years ago, was not with them in the 90s. And we have Mike McCready here, great photograph. And these being the Chicago set, they are all going to say Chicago along the bottom of the card. They'll have the instrument that's played in place of the position on the original 91 card, and then the name is going to be in the same place. So pretty faithful to the original design. I love that somebody in the band's entourage came up with this Pearl Jam 16 logo that really is like a throwback to that Topps 40th. So clearly, as I mentioned before when I showed the unopened packs, somebody who is involved with this band is definitely, or was definitely, a fan of trading cards, because they did a really good job. They don't have backs, unfortunately, so the way this works, I think the set is something like 64 cards, somewhere around there, and they make one big puzzle, one big photograph when they're assembled in the right order. So you don't really get card backs, but you do get some great photos on the front. There's another Boom Gasper. Jeff Ament, the bassist. Great shot there. And then here's the guy that you'd probably want to pull, lead singer and also rhythm guitarist Eddie Vedder. Love the kind of haunting silhouette photograph there of Eddie with his guitar in hand. That is a keeper. I think this one is new to my collection. As I said, I have quite a few packs of this that I didn't open. I did not attend any of the Chicago shows, so while these cards are cool, they don't really have quite the same meaning to me as the Boston set, which came out this same year, because I did attend both of the Boston shows back in 2016. Here's drummer Matt Cameron with kind of a posed photograph. So the way this would work, each band member would have one posed shot like this, and then like 4 or 5 or maybe more action shots. There's Boom Gasper on his pose shot. Got Jeff Ament again. Pretty cool card there. Stone Gossard, the last member of the band that we were missing. rhythm guitarist Stone Gossard. So we got the full band in this pack. Then we close out with another Jeff Ament card. So there you go. That's just a look. You get 10 cards in a pack plus a sticker. They sold them at the merch stand, so right alongside the t-shirts and the posters and anything else you'd want to buy at the show, Pearl Jam related. They actually had wax boxes with these packs inside, and they would sell these for whatever it was. I think maybe $5 a pack. And since we're on the topic, I wanted to get into this one quickly as well. 2 years later, they played some ballparks again in 2018 and did some trading cards for those as well. So this is a pack of 2018 Boston cards from the Fenway Park shows that I attended back in 2018. These are done up in the style of Hoops basketball from 1990. So I dragged this out. This is the one and only Hoops basketball card from this set in my collection. And I have it for kind of a disturbing reason, but for those who aren't basketball collectors or don't know, the Mark Jackson from this set is famous because it features the Menendez brothers prior to the murder of their parents, sitting courtside there in the background. So I have that Mark Jackson in my little basketball collection, my Basketball Z folio. But I dragged it out today because these 2018 Pearl Jam cards went with the design of that Hoops release for this set. So let's take a look at this pack as well, since I have a few of these. And again, great job by the band. Somebody clearly familiar with trading cards. Where we had the team logo on the original Hoops design, we have a Pearl Jam Boston logo, a custom logo there designed just for the Boston concerts, and then name and position, quote unquote, in the band along the top. So pretty faithful recreation of that Hoop set. Again, similar to the 2016s, you don't get card backs on these, but they're really, really cool nonetheless. So let's take a look at who we got here. Matt Cameron on drums, Mike McCready, lead guitarist, Stone Gossard, rhythm guitarist. We got back-to-back Stone Gossards. Pretty cool. There's the posed shot from this set of lead guitarist Mike McCready. Got another Mike McCready, so we have him posed and then in action. Another Stone Gossard, so heavy on the guitarist here, which is great. There's Jeff Ament again with his bass. Another Mike McCready, and then yet another Mike McCready to close out this pack. So in the Boston pack, no Eddie Vedder and no Boom Gasper on keys either. And then here is the sticker, which in this case is a show sticker rather than a band member. So this is one for the Seattle shows that they played, called the Home Shows back in 2018. Also played in the ballpark out in Seattle. So there's your daily dose of Pearl Jam cards. Again, great job by the band with the wrappers and the content here. They are playing some ballpark shows this summer, and I have neither confirmed nor denied whether they've created any 2024 cards for this tour, but hopefully I'll be finding out in a couple weeks. Let's move on now to Scott over at Reindeer Studios. Showed that Ken Griffey Jr. card, the kid, in my previous art video, as well as a few others that I've picked up. And I got to thinking, I really should try to complete the set of Reindeer Studios, at least for this first year that Scott is doing them. So I went back and grabbed these two cards, which were the only ones available that I had passed up on the first time around. I think these were commissioned from my buddy Warren D. and CLE, but we have Stephen Kwan on the left and Jose Ramirez on the right, two Cleveland greats, which makes perfect sense. Obviously, Scott residing in that area, being a Cleveland fan. So happy to score those two. Should have done it when I put in the order for my original cards, but happy to have them now. And then I grabbed this Doc Gooden, which was the most recent one to come out when I placed my order, and caught me up with one giant exception. I wasn't paying close enough attention for a week or two there. I had a busy stretch, and I missed, as I mentioned in my last episode, the Paul Skeens card. And obviously, with just 25 of these out there, and a lot of folks in the community wanting to support Scott for good reasons, and quite a few Pirate fans being in the community as well, I missed the boat on that one. And amazingly, my new hobby friend, Adam from Oregon, Adam Ulray, reached out to me and let me know he had seen my video and he had an extra Paul Skeens. He had ordered two and would be happy to send me one gratis just to keep my run intact and keep my complete set intact. So Adam, that is just hugely generous of you to do. I know I told you in an email, but I want to iterate it here as well. Just another shining example of the friendliness and camaraderie that exists in this great hobby of ours. Adam has actually sent me a couple of other cards as well, which, while I'm not going to cover them in today's video, I'll be getting to them soon. And it's just a class act individual. So Adam, for you to see that video, to have an extra Paul Skeens, and then to reach out to me just to help me keep my set intact, and to send it, no questions asked, all the way across the country to join my Reindeer Studios collection. I'm just eternally grateful. And as you know, I'm currently working on building up a little return package to send your way for all the great cardboard that you've sent. Lastly, before we move on to this great Nolan Ryan card to cap off the episode, wanted to show these bonus cards that Scott included when he mailed my Doc Gooden. Got this Bryce Harper, check that out. And then this great Campy, of course, modeled after that infamous 1951 Bowman shot. It's used other places as well, but that's what I think of when I see that, is 51 Bowman. Two great cards here. I think Scott includes these like in his quarter machines that he brings to shows out there, and I've always wanted a few of these, just being a big supporter of his art. And I haven't had a chance to plop a quarter into the machine just yet, but Scott included that. And then I got this great card. Check this out. The Sphinx, Don Mossy. Of course, Scott's amazing work here. Love this ongoing series. If you've tuned in on Scott's channel, you've seen Puppet Don interviewing various people around the national and otherwise, but just really, really cool. And look at the card back on this. Complete with a simulated stick of gum stuck to the card. Just so cool. So some really nice throw-in additions there to kind of make my Reindeer Studios collection even better. And now let's conclude the video with an art card, another sort of art card that I'm guessing you haven't seen, and it's a buyback card. And this is a type of buyback that I haven't really focused on, but back in 2017, in the Bowman release, Topps created or bought back all of these earlier Bowman cards from the Topps era of Bowman, so like 1990 and onward, because the 89s were oversized, wouldn't have fit into a pack, but they bought back 1990 Bowman and newer, stamped them with a 70th anniversary Bowman buyback logo, and then issued them as inserts in packs of 2017 Bowman. And I found a Nolan Ryan recently from that promotion that absolutely knocked my socks off. And if you collected back, in the early 90s like I did, you remember opening your packs of 90 Bowman and getting these illustrated mail-away cards. So they were like sweepstakes cards, kind of throwaway propaganda type cards. You could enter into a contest with Topps if you mailed them in, filled them out and mailed them in. So as kids, a lot of time those were throwaways, or just, maybe something you'd keep on the top of your stack of rubber banded cards for condition case, or honestly, more often than not, they'd probably just be thrown away. But in 1990 Bowman, they included some really awesome artwork that kind of harkened back to the 1950s, early 50s kind of illustrated Bowman sets. And one of the subjects, and they put that artwork on the front of those sweepstakes cards. So it made them, in my mind as a kid, more desirable than one that featured, a Topps t-shirt on the front, or, some type of card storage. Well, long story short, really long story short, I'm getting long-winded here. They included some of these sweepstakes cards in the buyback program in 2017. So what you're looking at here is that sweepstakes card that I was talking about for Nolan Ryan, with that great artwork on the front, reminiscent of early 50s Bowman cards. So this was a 1990 sweepstakes card initially. Here's the back. So you would fill this out, mail it in, and you could join the Bowman sweepstakes back in 1990. But this one was acquired back by Topps. They stamped it with this B70 logo, Bowman 70, and then issued this 70 years after the initial 1949 Bowman release. They issued this card as an insert in 2017 Bowman. So from a sweepstakes card in 1990 to a unique, kind of one-of-a-kind hit to pull out of your pack in 2017, this card has had quite the journey. I love the artwork. Just a great late career illustration there of Nolan. Feels exactly to me like it would have been home in, say, like the 52 Bowman release. Just looks gorgeous. And then when you throw in the fact that this particular example was twice pack issued and stamped as a buyback. I just couldn't resist picking this one up. Was really, really intrigued by it when I came across it. And believe it or not, I mean, you may laugh at what I paid for this, but I shelled out about $20 just to get this really unique item into my Nolan Ryan collection. So that's the final card for today's video. Again, art being the theme here today between the music cards, the art cards from Scott, and that really unique Nolan Ryan. Hope you enjoyed the content. Went a little bit longer than I intended, but as you know, I'll be back very soon with some more sports card related content. Until then, just keep enjoying the hobby. Take care, everybody.